Welcome to week 4 of our 8-week mini-series on how to develop the mindset you need to transition to a healthier lifestyle and get the body that you really want. I'm Stacie Cole. I'm the founder and CEO of the Healthy Lifestyle Institute for Women, and I'm really glad that you could join us this week. This is our mini program that's kind of based off of our full-blown signature coaching program that you can find in our Healthy Weight Loss Evolution Toolbox. So if you are enjoying the course and you want to know more about how to dig a little deeper and get the full-blown version, then you can visit www.hlIwconnect.com/evolution-toolbox. That was kind of a mouthful, but you got all that, right? You can visit our website and find it on the products page. I'll make that a little easier for you. So here we are on week 4, which is commit to taking action. So in weeks 1 through 3, we've really kind of been looking at this from 25,000 feet above looking down, right? It's been very big picture. And so this week we are going to start laser focusing in and concentrate on the actions. So that is step 4, commit to taking action. You know, the war on body fat really is one in the day-to-day decisions that we make and our habits and our routines. And so this is the step where we are really going to kind of get down into the trenches and start this fight. So if you remember last week, we talked a little bit about having a conversation with the future version of yourself. Well, I want you to go back to that and think about, okay, this future version of yourself, she has already reached all these goals that you set for yourself last week. Okay, she's already living that ideal healthy lifestyle that you're trying to transition to now. She's been there, she's done it, she's accomplished it. What I want to ask you is, what are some of the habits and routines that she has? What does she do consistently that keeps her in peak physical condition? And that really brings us to our first homework assignment for the week, which is list 10 things that you do regularly and consistently that keep you in peak physical condition. Because those are going to be different habits than the habits you employed to get you to where you are now if you're trying to lose weight. So think about that future version of yourself, the one that's already accomplished all these wonderful things, and list 10 things that she does that keeps her in peak physical condition. So that's your first homework assignment. Now let's transition into kind of our second segment, which is label yourself. Now this is a tool that you can use to help you as you go through this journey. And you know, when we talk about labeling, it's kind of what we do in society, right? We label ourselves, we live up to our labels, and so we're going to use that to our advantage in this case, and we're going to label ourselves in a way that we want to live up to. So, you know, when I was kind of going through my weight loss journey myself, I had gotten to a point where I was about 45 pounds heavier than what you see today. And I can remember just waking up one day and saying, what am I doing? I mean, this is crazy. I'm not like this. You know, I've kind of always had a tall, thin build, and so I kind of found myself in uncharted territory there. And I just said, you know what? I'm a person who works out. And I labeled myself that, and I said, well, if I'm a person who works out, then what time of day do I work out? And, you know, well, I would probably work out in the morning before work. Okay, well then, what does that mean? And so I labeled myself, I'm a person who works out. Among other things, I'm a person who eats healthy. Those were two things that I use, 2 labels that I use. So that is your second homework assignment. Pick out some labels for yourself that you want to live up to. Okay, so now I want to really discuss with you a concept that's very important to this program, which is making and keeping promises to yourself. It's one of the tools that we offer in the toolbox, and it's a super cool tool. The only one that's better is the journal itself. And so these promise cards are really designed so that you can make and keep a promise to yourself, one a week, and display it on something that looks really cool, and keep it somewhere where you'll see it so that it's in your top of mind awareness. So what I'm going to offer you today is 5 tips on how to make and keep promises for yourself. Okay, and the first tip is that your promises to yourself should be action-oriented versus results-oriented. So what I don't want you to do is say, I promise to lose 2 pounds this week, or I promise to lose 2 inches, because you don't really have control over that. Even if you did everything right, your body might not quite comply, or at the speed that you want it to. So I don't want you to set yourself up for failure. I want you to set yourself up for success. So I want your goals to be something, or your promises rather, to be something that you have 100% control over. So what's an example of a goal or a promise that works that way? Well, you can say, I promise to go to the gym 3 days this week and walk on the treadmill for 20 minutes at my minimum target heart rate. That is something that you have 100% control over. So that's your first tip on how to make and keep a promise. The second tip is to make a promise with resolve. No half-heartedness here. Okay, you got to play full out. So when you're doing this, you can't say, well, I should, or I ought to, or I want to, or I could. None of that. What I want you to say is, I promise I will blank. That's how you set a promise with resolve. And the third tip is, you are important. Okay, you deserve to be at the front of the line with everybody else that's important in your life. And this is a very, very important concept that I want you to understand, your importance in this, and how setting goals is important, and you should do it, you deserve to do it. Part of our slogan here at the Healthy Lifestyle Institute is confidence, energy, purpose. And yes, it is a confidence builder when you feel better and look better. That in and of itself is a confidence builder. But the concept that I really want to drive home is that the confidence, the true confidence, comes from setting a goal and doing the work and seeing the results and achieving it. That is the confidence builder, because you can take that with you wherever you go and apply it to any goal that you want to set. Okay? Because when you break a promise to yourself, you are telling yourself so much more than, oh, I missed my goal this week. You're telling yourself that you're not worthy to follow through on the promises that you set for yourself. That's not a confidence builder. That's a confidence breaker. So we want to stay away from that. You deserve to follow through on these promises that you keep for yourself. So that's your third tip. You are important. Your fourth tip is to be realistic. Okay, now we're going to bring it back down a notch and keep it real. Please don't set grandiose promises and ideals at the beginning of the week if you have no clue as to how you're going to make it happen. So be realistic. What can you really commit to this week? Okay, because you want to be able to follow through. So don't say that you're going to go to the gym 5 days this week if you see that 3 days in your schedule make it absolutely impossible. I'd rather you promise 3 days and deliver 4 to yourself. Okay, so just keep it real. And your fifth tip is to be prepared. You got to prepare yourself for success. You can't leave it to chance. So what is an example of how to be prepared? Well, let's say, for example, that the promise that you make to yourself is that you want to take your lunch 3 days with you to work this week. So if you're going to do that, you have to be prepared. You have to have groceries in the house, and you have to cook enough the night before to be able to have leftovers to take with you, or prepare something that morning before you leave. You have to have containers to put it in. You got to have a plan, right? So be prepared to succeed. Don't leave it to chance. Those are your 5 tips. And it brings us to your third homework assignment for the week, which is make one promise to yourself and schedule it. Because when you schedule it, that's when it becomes real. That's what really makes it happen. That's getting down into the trenches. That's getting the work done, and that's what is going to lead you to the results and to that ultimate body that you want. So I hope you found this useful. That is our week 4. Can you believe we're already halfway done with our 8-week series? It seems like it's flying by. And I'm really enjoying doing this for you, so I hope that you're getting a lot out of our content. Now next week is step 5, which is overcoming internal dialogue. Now that is a really juicy one. You do not want to miss it. So come back next week and see us then. Take care. Have a fabulous week.